Hi, in this video, I will show you how to configure Kubernetes secret at AWS EKS cluster. As you know that, secrets are, very vital part of your application management or application lifecycle where, we will be using multiple secrets for multiple tasks. For example, how to, secrets for logging to a database, secret for, logging to your web servers. Okay, all these secrets are nothing but, very valid, credentials that you need to manage in your applications very, securely. So in such cases, my video is dedicating, like how do we manage the Kubernetes level secrets, okay? All right, so as you see in this picture, this is just, just a brief information about my, my demo here, okay? So here I will give a complete end-to-end demo, like, how to consume and how to configure the Kubernetes secrets at Kubernetes cluster. For example, here I'm using the AWS EKS cluster, which is a managed Kubernetes cluster, all right? So on that Kubernetes cluster, if we are creating some secrets, then how do we use those secrets at real-time applications or real-time pod configurations, all right? And after that, how do we can retrieve the those secrets securely and use it at our pod creation process. All these end-to-end details I will be showing in this demo. All right, so with that note, we directly jump to this demo. So here, as you see in this screen, so I have created a commands.json file which I will be sharing in this in my GitHub repo, and the GitHub repo link will be shared in this video's description. Please find this document from there, and try to do this operations by watching this video. All right, so with that note, we can directly jump to this demo. So here there are a couple of files as well, not only this command file. So I do have a secret a YAML file. This is the you can call it as a Kubernetes specification file, which is used to create a kind of secret in the in the Kubernetes cluster. All right, so this is the one file I will be using, and I do also have the other two YAML files. One will be creating a pod. Pod is nothing but we are deploying an application into the AWS EKS cluster or general Kubernetes cluster. All right, and also I do have the another part. So these are the I'm creating a two parts in this demo, and eventually consuming the secrets which I'm configuring as a as a secret on AWS EKS cluster. All right, so these are the three files I will be using, and also these files will be shared in this same GitHub repo, and that Git repo's link will be shared in this video's description. Please find that. Okay. All right, so now with that, now what we do is we go through these commands one after the one, and I will also explain the real concepts and the thing that you need to know about the Kubernetes secrets. All right. So with that notes, directly jump to this demo. So first we see at the prerequisites here. Prerequisite, you need to have an AWS EKS cluster up and running fine, which I consider as a Kubernetes cluster, for kind of any kind of demo which I show in my videos. All right. So here for that case, I leverage EKSCTL utility to create the EKS cluster. And for that reason, you have to have the EKSCTL tool installed in your system. If not, you can follow this link and get the EKSCTL installed in your system. Then you carry out the next steps. For example, EKSCTL create cluster, which will eventually create an EKS cluster. And then you can retrieve the details of the cluster with using this EKSCTL, all right, EKSCTL get cluster command, all right. And after that, we go to the next one, that is how to get the pods and all right. So these are the prerequisites. I consider the above these operations, okay. The one I selected here, I consider as a prerequisite for the demo. I have my prerequisite up and running fine. So let me take you here. So this is the here since I'm using the command line operations, okay, I'm using the PowerShell window. In PowerShell window, I'm leveraging the AWS CLI command line, for example, AWS configure. So with using the AWS configure, what I'm doing is I'm setting the context to my AWS account. All right, so this is my access key ID, and this is my access key secret, and this is my reason, this is my output format. All right, so with this configurations, my session gets connected with my AWS account, I can say, okay. So that in the sense we are getting connected with the with my AWS account session with using AWS CLI commandlets. Now from there, if I run the EKCTL command, which I explained above, for example, here I'm creating the EKCTL, nothing but I'm creating a EKS cluster with the name EKS secret and the node type t2.large, one node and one minimum node. So this is since for demo purpose, I'm using the minimum resource so that I can minimize my cost. All right. So in production case, probably you need to change the numbers of the nodes, minimum and maximum according to your need. And then we go to the region. So region I'm targeting to US East 1, and after that I'm choosing certain zones of these regions. Okay, so you see East 1, US is to B, US is to C, okay, A, B, C, all right. So, all right, so when I run this command, so it has eventually taken almost like nearby 20 minutes. Okay, so once the 20 minutes is completed, my EKS cluster is up and running fine, and you see the end result, yeah. Here you see, EKS cluster create in US East region is ready, all right, which means that, my cluster is up and running fine. So let me take you to my AWS account. So this is my AWS account. If I refresh this, I'm in Virginia, and you see, right, you see that my EKS cluster is up and running fine. I go to the configurations, and you see here, so all these nodes, networking, add-ons, authentications, and all right, so all these configurations are up and running fine, and we can evaluate the cluster with using CTL tool, nothing but kubectl tool. So this is where I'm just did a kubectl get nodes. Okay, here you see, right, once the EKS cluster gets created with using EKCTL tool, automatically by default that commandlet will eventually update the kubeconfig file. And since my file is being updated here, automatically kubectl will leverage those configurations and takes the session with your nodes and retrieves the details about our EKS cluster. Here I'm getting the nodes details, so that's the reason kubectl get nodes. All right, and one node is up and running fine. And I was to show you one more thing, that is get all pods. All right, let's go and see if there are any pods. If I go here and copy paste this. All right, so last command is for deletion purpose, so you don't need to do it right away, but you can do it after your once your work is done. The next one is kubectl get pods, and I'm checking across the nodes. We should see some default pods. Okay, and you see there are some default kube system pods have been up and running fine. All right, so now we are set with the prerequisite. Now let's go to the real-time job. Okay, the real-time job of this demo is configuring the Kubernetes secrets. All right, so there are a couple of ways that you can leverage to configure the Kubernetes secrets. Either you can use the kubectl commandlet and configure the secrets on your EKS cluster, on your Kubernetes cluster. All right, so that's one method. Another method is you can specify that thing in a specification file of format YAML, and then create that. Okay, then you can use the kubectl create and give the file name, or eventually to create the secrets as well. So there are two ways. Right now, what I will do is I will show you both. All right, so here what we do is we leverage the first one. So what I do is I will let me create a generic secret. You see the commandlet is kubectl create secret, and that is a generic format. And this is my secret name. So let me create my secret name as a secret name for this demo. And username, let me make it as a something like different. All right. So here what I do is I will just create a username one. All right. So username one. I will just change the username one, and this is password one. All right. And since this username and password has to be 64-bit encoded. Okay, so for your information, so whatever the literals that you put in, or whatever the values that you put in for your username, your password, or any kind of secret key, that has to be kept in a 64 base 64 encoded one. And that's the reason I'm just leveraging this one. All right, so I'm here, I go to the username, and I just encode it, and I want to retrieve that encoded value. So username is being encoded as this format, so this value is nothing but 64 base coded value. So this is the username. So I will just replace that with the 64 base value. Then password, let it keep it password only, and let me also encrypt it to say base 64 format. So what I do is for that one, I just go to here, and I just see here I'm not leveraging anything beyond. Okay, so you can do it. You go to the base code, you see, right, base64 encode.org. You go to the store, you can leverage that. All right, so here you see, when you do an encoding, so the value is being written now. Okay, all right, so we are here. So what I do is I just replace that value with this. All right, so now our command is complete. You see, kubectl create secret generic, and this is the secret name. And from literals, okay, from the literals we are giving the username literal and the password literals. All right, so what is the name of my secret? My name of secret is secret name. Okay, that is a special thing here. I will just, what I do is I copy this command and I will just execute, and then it will automatically configure the secret. All right, so before I run that, so let's see if there are any secrets. All right, before we create our own secret, let's see if they know kubectl, if the Kubernetes is keeping some secrets, which we don't know. All right, so that's a fun learning. All right, so here what I do is I go here and I do kubectl get secret, and let's see if it's returning something. All right, so the see here, the Kubernetes is keeping some secrets which we don't know. All right, so that's a default token secret. You can just ignore it, but that will be used by Kubernetes, not by you. All right, so here for your application and nothing but when you deploy a pod, okay, probably you need to keep these secrets, which probably you cannot keep those your secrets here, right, in your application specification files, because that will be exposed to the internet. So that's the reason the term called Kubernetes secrets coming in picture, and these are the process that we need to follow when doing those. All right, so here let me copy this command correctly again, and here first method is you can create the secret on your EKS cluster, Kubernetes cluster, with using command lines. That is kubectl create secret, that is generic secret, and this is my secret name, and then okay, these are my literals. All right, so let me do this. I just do a enter. That's all. Okay, so it will eventually create a secret in the Kubernetes cluster. You see the secret, and this is our secret name. That is the secret name itself. Now what I do is I will just get a secret, get secrets. Let's see. We should see secret name now. Here you go, right? So secret name is is being created. All right, so this is the one way that you can create the secret, and from here you can leverage or consume these secrets. All right, and apart from that, there is one more method, that is through specification file, which we'll see after this one. All right, so again, so these secrets in the EKCTL2 or or in the Kubernetes cluster get stored on our etcd database, which is a Kubernetes orchestration database, you can say. All right, so now the secret contains two literals. One is username 1, password name 1. Now those things will be stored in our etcd Kubernetes secret space. All right, now let's go to the next one. Next one is how do we create a secret with using a YAML file itself. We can do that with using this specification. Okay, now let me go through this in a specification file. Here we are mentioning the API version, the kind. Okay, so you need to remember this is a secret, and this is case sensitive, so make it caps letter CECRET, right? That's a secret. Then after that, in metadata, we are giving the name of your secret, that is secret-demo, and the type is opaque. Okay, that is a type power. Okay, then data. So what is the secret data? We are keeping username and password as our secret data. All right, so now what I do is I go to the next method, that is the method to create the secret with using YAML files. All right, so what I do is I use the kubectl create commandlet. For this case, I have to go to the space where this file is being stored. I have to do the cd to that path. All right, so here is my secret. I do the cd to this path. Okay, don't forget this. Sometimes you will get stuck some basics steps. That is the reason I just focus more on more basic steps. Okay, to invoke any kind of YAML files with using kubectl, you have to do a cd to the path. Then only the kubectl gets identified. Okay, so all right, so now we did a cd to this path where this file has been storing, and now what I do is I go to the kubectl create file. I go here. All right, so what I do is I now leverage dot operator and find our file name. What is my file name? Create secret. So let me do is create secret. All right, so this is my file name. What I do is I use the create. I just enter. Okay, that's all. Very easy. All right, so creating the secret with using YAML file is just very easy. It got created, so let's go to the or just go above and now get the secrets. Now we should see 3 now. Here you go, right? So now we have a demo secret as well, which is being created 8 seconds ago. All right, so these are the 2 methods that you can leverage to create the Kubernetes secrets. Now we go one step ahead. Till now we saw 3 steps: how to create and how to view it. Now next step is you can ask me, how do I consume these secrets in my pod deployment? Yeah, that's the reason I have the separate demo ready for it, so which I will take you next. All right, so next one is what we do is we deploy one example pod called BusyBox in my EKCTL tool, or in my in my EKS cluster with using kubectl command, and then we will see the next steps. Okay, first one, what we do is, again we have to do we have to deploy a pod, so with using kubectl create file. Okay, what I do is I just go here and just create kubectl. So here what we do is I just need to refer to that file name. So what is the file name? So here is the deploy sample. So let's find that file. Okay, let's find that file as a deploy sample. Let's just create it. It just deploys as some sample application which is using some busybox images. You see, if I go to this file, I will just explain it. Okay, here. So here I'm deploying an image called busybox, which is just an example, a pod image, you can say. So here version is API version, kind is pod, metadata, and then name is busybox. Specification, we have the container, and in that one image is busybox, and name is busybox, and command is bin bash, and it will, what it does is it will just keep the sleep for 600 seconds. All right, and then these are the other things in the next one. You see, right? Here is the a trick here. So here through this YAML file we created the secret. Now we want to consume the secret. For example, you want to consume the username, you want to consume the password. So this is how we do it. What we do is here these secrets, for example, these secrets are now stored in where? These secrets are now stored in etcd. Now but those secret has to be consumed in the application. How to it has to do it? Can do it by keeping those secrets as a environmental variable of this image, or of this pod, you can say. All right, so when this pod gets created on that pod environmental variable, so we are keeping an environmental variable name called my username, and the value of this my username is now referencing the secret, which is a secret, that the secret demo from the etcd. All right, so this is the etcd storage, and from there the reference has been consumed here, and this values has been the username value has been retrieved, and the key value, where the username will be kept is my username, and the value will be the username which will be stored here. All right, so this is the value name. All right, that was the trick is here. So here you are retrieving from the etcd and keeping into the pods environment, and from there your application will consume it for your life cycle. All right, so that is the a trick, or that is the logic behind it. All right, so our busybox is now up and running fine. So now we go to the next step. The next step is what we do is we leverage. What we do is we go inside the pod, and we check the we try to identify if the environmental variable has been set or not. Okay, that is our next step. So what I do is I just do kubectl get pod. Okay, so what does? It will just list the pods present in our in our EKS cluster. You see there is one busybox is up and running fine, which is a pod. And I will just go inside the pod. Okay, so how do I go inside the pod? I have to go inside the pod with using this command. So that is kubectl execit, which is nothing but eventually takes the ssh ssh of the our pod. Okay, so let me put in the pod here. So let me choose it here. For example, so let me type it something like busybox, and let's see. Okay, if I can ssh inside the pod. You have to wait for certain time, so that it will take the it will go inside the pod. Okay, so let me go above, and you see here, right? So there is a hash mark came in, or you see that we are currently in a busybox. So let me check what is the host name. You see, so there's nothing but we are in a tiny VM called pod, and that VM name is busybox. Now we have to explore whether our environmental variable is been set in there or not. So what I do is I just use this Linux command, that env. All right, and in that one I need to retrieve my environmental variable. So what is my environmental variable in this pod? That is my username. Okay, so I go here and I just put it name, my username. Let's see, here you go, right? So my username, which is equal to test. All right, it's nothing but your busybox has copied the secret which is placed in etcd database and put it on its own pod's environmental variable, and from there your application can consume this secret. All right, so that's all. We have successfully shown you the first method, like how to consume the secret which is stored in the etcd database in our pod application, and this is the way. All right, so we go to the next level, next step. For now, let me exit this. So exit is nothing but you are coming out of the pod. All right, so we go to the next step. So till now we have shown till here, that is consuming the secret value from the environmental variable. Now we go to the next step. If you want to consume the secret value from the volumes, which is a next type of consuming the secret. So here this is the file which I made for that kind of use cases. For example, API version is, so here, let me walk you through this code and I will run that code after that one, yeah. So here API version is v1, kind is pod, and metabox is again, I'm just leveraging the busybox. So busybox is a kind of very handy image which you can use to create the pod in our, in our Kubernetes cluster and explore the, or just learn the Kubernetes. All right, so then we are giving the specifications in that volume. So this is my secret, secret volume is my volume name, and secret is nothing but, secret demo. All right, so this is the container. So in the container, the image is busybox, name is busybox, and this is SSH. And you see here, volume mount. In the sense, I'm just, what actually I'm doing it here. For a volume, we are creating one volume, and the name of my volume is secret volume. And to that secret volume, what we are doing is, we are creating a secret. So in that volume, on top of that volume, we are creating some space called secret. And that volume, for that space, what we are calling, what we are giving a name called secret demo. All right, so under the secret demo, we are creating one folder structure called my data, which I will show you eventually. But this is the syntax that you can follow, why if you want to choose the secret on a value. All right, so what I do is I just run this command and I will show you the, how we consume, right? How we are consuming the secret values from the value. All right, so now I need to rerun those commands again, kubectl apply, kubectl create now, but this time what we do is we target to volume, volume.yaml file. So what is actually it does is, it's eventually, it's eventually creating the same, busybox image, and that's the reason you see there's an error. You see error performing from the server. Because why? Because this eventually it is also referring a busybox image, and which is eventually the pod is already up and running fine. Yeah, so that has become a, that has become a problem. Now what I have to do is I have to delete the first one and reuse and recreate the volume one. Okay, that becomes one of the trick. So what I do is I delete the above one, that is the deploy sample one, and recreate the volume one for this case. Okay, so let me go back quickly, and what I do is I just clean up the, the deploy, which I already shown you above, which I don't need to keep it now. What I do is I just delete it. Okay, I just delete. All right, so what I do is I just delete the, deploy sample pod. Once that has been cleaned up, I just, and after that I run it volume.yaml file, then eventually that will get run. You will not see these errors. Okay, so these are the nothing but, Kubernetes tricks, but eventually, yes, that will eventually helping you to gain some knowledge here. So let's wait for this pod to get cleaned up, and once this pod is getting cleaned up, we will go to the volume file execution. Once the volume file has been executed, what we do is we will, I will show you, like, how the, Kubernetes secrets now getting added at the volume level. Okay, all right, so our busy box is deleted. Let's see and find if there are pods. Here you go, there are no pods. Now we'll apply the volume. What we are doing is we cleaned up the, which is causing the problem, which is the earlier pod. Now we created, okay, you see, right, the pod busy box is created. Now let's go to the pods, and we should see some pod here now. All right, so busybox is again recreated, but this time through volume.yaml file. All right, so that's probably, when you are doing, you need to probably clean up the deploy.sample file when you are trying for volume. Okay, that is just a note for you. We created. Now what we do is now again we go inside the pod. How do we go? We go using the same commandlets which we tried above. All right, so busybox. Now let's go inside. This is nothing but, this is the kubectl way of, taking a SSH of pod, you can say. Okay, I can say that. So what we do is I go inside and I will just show you the secrets are being configured at volume level. So let me check the host name. So you see the volume is now something like that. Let's do a ls and -l. All right, so here we created my data, right? So you see we created my data, and in that space only what we did is we stored the secret. If I go here, you see volume mount. So this is the, name is the secret volume, but then the path is mount path is my data. If we see, let's go to the cd to the path, my data. I need to go back. So here our data will be present in that file. So that's what I mean. So let me go to that. I just wanted to show, and that will become an end of our ls minus l, or just do ls. All right, so here, it does not contains my data. So if I go to the my data, Yeah, so I did a CD to that part, but there is nothing there. So let me do a cat my data. So if I do cat my data, we should see some data inside it. Okay, alright. So if I go above, and one second. I just go to this one. Okay, so my if I go to the CD, so if, let me it's bit tricky. It's going up and down, but we have to take a control of it one, because eventually our cursor is going up, because it does not text that. So let me do cat and what is the PWD? What is the PWD? So let me do the PWD here. You see it's a hash. So let me go to the CD to my data. All right, and let me see ls minus l. What are there here? And here you go, right? We have the we have two things: password and username data is being stored in this path. All right, and that is what I wanted to show you at the end. So these are the, so now what we did is we covered two methods. Okay, first of all, let me before I conclude, let me recap it. So what we did is I showed you, there are two ways to create the secret in the Kubernetes cluster, and also I showed you that two ways of consuming the that secret which is configured on the Kubernetes etcd database. One is you can consume it as an environmental variable of the pod, or you can consume the secret by configuring it values from the volumes. All right, and the final one which we saw is this is the values from the volumes. All right, so that's all for now for the Kubernetes secrets level, that is the things that you need to know. Finally, thank you very much for watching my videos. Kind request, please do subscribe my channel. That would really encourage me a lot. So with that note, thank you, thanks a lot.